Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sláinte Wellness Weekly Healthy Tips. So, following on from my video last week where I spoke about the importance of blood type for your digestion and your health, I had a number of people ask me, but where would I find out what my blood type is? Now, unfortunately, your GP won't know and they won't be able to test for you. I can test here in clinic. And also, maybe if you had a baby, you might have been given a card with your blood type, or if you get your blood checked. If you donate blood, you will know your blood type. Otherwise, you can get a card. This is a Know Your Blood Type Eldon blood typing kit. You can order it on the internet. It's not expensive, and you get a card. You take a little bit of blood, you put it on the card with some water, and it coagulates. And the coagulation determines what blood type you are. So if you are interested in finding out more and getting to understand your health, that's a good place to start. Another very important place to start, my topic for today, is hydration and the importance of drinking water on a daily basis. Dehydration, even minor dehydration, can lead to a myriad of symptoms. One of the most important symptoms and one of the most important needs of water is your digestive system for constipation. Constipation is huge. It's not enough to go to the toilet every second day, or some even people go once a week. Horrendous. You should actually go to the toilet every time you eat. So Alfie here, my 10-year-old Cocker Spaniel, every time he has his dinner, he goes out to the garden and eliminates. So that's what we should be doing. But it is essential that you go once a day. So water can be hugely important for constipation, overcoming constipation. The immune system. So if you think of dehydration like a river that there hasn't been rain for a few weeks and it's low, there's no movement. Can you imagine your blood having not enough fluid for movement to move the toxins out and also to move the nutrients in and to move the white blood cells, our immune system, around the place? If you think of a cell dehydrated is like a balloon that has lost some of the air inside and it gets saggy. And when it gets saggy like that, the nutrients can't get in because the outer membrane is saggy and the waste can't get out. So you'll have a lot of symptoms, and these symptoms include fatigue, headaches, maybe cramps. You might have low mood. You might have an afternoon slump. You will not maybe be very productive. Clarity, might have a foggy brain. There's so many symptoms. If you think of alcohol, and for people out there like myself who suffer from hangovers, the next day how you feel is complete dehydration most of the time. That headache, feeling sick, nausea, they're all symptoms of dehydration. And I'll talk about hangovers another day. It might be a topic I'll cover to give you some tips, but it's so important. So how do we lose water? Digestion, excretion, going to the toilet, breathing. If you were to measure the amount of fluid you would lose talking, say you're given a half-hour talk, if you were to measure the amount of fluid that you lose during that half hour, it can lead to mild dehydration. So ensure you have water with you or that you hydrate afterwards. Obviously, sweating. Now, you're not just sweating out water, you're sweating out your electrolytes. And they are so important for so many functions in the body. And it's important to replace them. For ladies maybe of my own age where they're having a little glow at night time, if you are having night sweats, you must rehydrate afterwards. Night sweats can lead to dehydration, which can lead to insomnia and lead to sleep, a dysregulated sleep. So it's important that you replace those fluids if you're having them. So when is the best time to replace your fluids? First thing in the morning. If you notice your urine is usually quite dark in the morning, and it's very important that it's a light straw colour during the day to indicate you are hydrated. So first thing in the morning, your body's gone through all those chemical reactions during the night, repairing, fixing, detoxing. There's a lot left over to need to be washed out. So a good glass of warm water in the morning, maybe with a bit of lemon to boost the liver and get the detoxing going. Eating, it's important not to eat large amounts of fluid with your meals because it dilutes the digestive enzymes. So to have a glass of water half an hour before your meals, maybe with some bitters to boost the digestion, boost the digestive enzymes, and then leave drinking until an hour after your meals, and then going to bed. And as I said, dehydration can lead to a disruptive sleep. So make sure that you're hydrated going to bed. A glass of water. Now I do say warm water. I prefer warm water rather than cold water. People who crave cold water are usually iron deficient. So room temperature or even a little bit warmer is good. The body doesn't have to warm it up. And then, so teas, coffees are dehydrating. Herbal teas, some of them can be good and hydrating. Maybe green tea with the caffeine, dehydrating. Tea, coffee, very dehydrating. So it's important you get your fluids from water. Take your time to drink. If you aren't used to drinking water, don't start drinking 2.5 litres tomorrow, because that won't work. It's too much. Build it up. But also as well, if you are dehydrated, it will take a week or two for your body to get used to the intake of water and not flush it out, and to start utilising that water. So take your time, build it up. So the formula for working out your individual needs, not your family's or anybody else's, your individual needs, is as follows. So get your calculators or a pen and write it down. So your weight in kilograms divided by 8 and multiply by 0.25. Now that will give you your requirement on a daily basis of how much water you should be drinking. If you're sweating, if you're exercising, maybe spinning, running, any of those exercises that you sweat a lot, you might think they're good for your bodies, and they are, but some people don't tolerate them well. I went to a spinning class one time. I was sleeping well at the time. I didn't sleep well for 2 nights. I was doing hot yoga, thinking I was doing great things for myself. I was waking up the next day with a headache and not sleeping well that night. So I'm not saying they're not good to be doing. They are excellent, but you need to hydrate enough to replace that fluid you're taking. So take your time to build it up. And I'd say to all employers out there, if you don't provide anything else for your employees, do provide good, clean water. So what type of water? I use a reverse osmosis. I did a lot of research. It's not easy to get the ideal filter for your water. There's many types out there. None of them really are perfect, to be honest. So I went with reverse osmosis, and there's a cartridge in it to replace the minerals. Reverse osmosis will take all the elements out and you're left nearly with pure distilled water. So I ensure that the minerals go back in because they're so important, and the water would be very acidic without those minerals. I also add in some minerals that I get in my health shop. So I think Viridian do electrolytes. There's some other ones that you can replace the electrolytes. So it's important to do that as well. So just ensure that you're getting good filtered water, and as I said, heat it up a bit. So it can increase productivity. It can get rid of your afternoon slump. It can give you clarity of thought and concentration. There's so many elements that it can improve for your day and your sleep. So I hope you get something from that. That's your tip for the week. So whatever happens this week, think about how much water you're drinking and how you are going to go about putting it into your daily routine. Even if you have to set your phone to go off every hour and say, drink some water. Don't gulp it down. The body can't take all that gulping down. Sip it throughout the day. Have it on your desk, fill it up and sip it throughout the day. And I hope to hear of all the great benefits that you experience. So that's me for this week. I will do one on hangovers actually, because I think for some of us it's important, for others it's not so quite important, but I don't like those people. And stay tuned, and next week I'll have another tip for you. So do take care.